Welcome. This is the Cancer Journey Show, and I'm Sherry Ann Tom.
And I'm Carrie Lehman, and we are the
And
founders of the Cancer Journey Institute.
which is the nation's first cancer coach training company.
Yay!
We're very proud of that. And
this is all in case you have not joined us before, because if you have, you've heard all this before, but we always feel like it's important to give you a little bit of context for who we are and why we're doing this.
Exactly. And the why of why we're doing this is that we have been in business since 2012, but we still get the question of what's cancer journey coaching? And while we have words for that, you know, what we say is we work with the inner workings of an individual as they're going through their cancer journey, which is their emotional, their mental, and their spiritual bodies, primarily. That doesn't seem to get people to go, oh, okay, I know exactly what you do. So what we did is we created this show where we are going to give you a real-time, live, real life example of what cancer journey coaching is. And we have our guest client today. It's Cathy again. Cathy is back, which we're so happy to have her. We're gonna keep following Cathy's journey in and out during the course of our show. And we're gonna be coaching her today around whatever's showing up for Cathy in this moment.
Cathy is a patient and a survivor. And, and so she's on her cancer journey, and what you probably have noticed is, if you've seen this show before, is that we coach the whole person. So it doesn't have to be a cancer related topic. It can be, doesn't have to be. We just coach the whole person because we believe that you are more than your cancer.
Yes. And when you're on a cancer journey, of course, you're living your life, so that we don't separate the cancer journey from your life's journey, because they're interconnected and they're intertwined. And without further ado, I'm going to bring Cathy on. And today, Carrie is going to be the coach. And we will come back after this and talk about the coaching. So let's bring Cathy in. Hi, Cathy. Cathy. We've got you on mute and no picture. There you are.
Oh, and dark.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and mute and make my screen go away. And Carrie and Cathy, you're on.
Hi, Cathy.
Hi, Carrie.
So you want to start with Pesh?
Sure.
So physically, how are you?
I'd say I'm a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Emotionally?
I'd say I'm about an 8.
Okay. Spiritually?
About a 6, 7, yeah.
And where is your hope today on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say a 10.
And one word that describes you in this moment.
One word. I would say there's no words that are coming.
Blank?
I would say blank. I would say, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what would be helpful to talk about today?
Well, so probably it ties in with my blank word, is that this whole coronavirus thing has added a new dimension to the uncertainty.
Mhm.
And my son is home from Spain. Yay! He's staying in. He's staying at our home, and he is, quarantining there for 2 weeks. We're staying with my mom, and then I guess we'll be going back, but trying to figure out how we're going to live together so that, because I've got a compromised immune system, and,
Right.
so there's that, because I'm kind of a little bit sad that, we can't just be roommates like we
Right.
always have been whenever he's been home,
Right.
so figuring that out. And then the other thing that, I'm feeling right now is that, the thought of coming up with these big dream goals, it feels forced.
Yeah.
It's like, trying to make up these imaginary situations that I would like to see for my life in the future. Just, it's not coming.
Yeah.
I think I'm back to where I was in that regard. And I don't know if I really even want to do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it. It's like your son is home. This is much more immediate for you. Your son is home, and you're missing him, and he's right there in front of you, but you can't hug him. And you want to figure out how you're thinking about the future in that regard, like how are we going to be able to live together, because I want to really much.
Mm-hmm.
And and so I'm wondering what you're feeling right now. Like almost what I'm sensing is a bit of a sense of loss.
Yeah, I didn't really realize it until just now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And when you have emotions that are right there, that are, it's like this big thing. This is a big thing that your son is home. And of course you don't want to dream about the future. You just want this to be dealt with. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you feeling?
I'm disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this thing is kind of scary, this coronavirus, because people don't really know who it's going to affect, how it's going to affect who. I mean, there's certain things that are, you're at higher risk, but people who aren't at higher risk still suffer, so it's a mystery.
It
And
is.
so that's like hugely unknown. And I don't want to spread it to my parents or my husband's mother. And so does that mean I don't get to see them?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And so when the tears come, is that like that sense of possible like loss and lonely for them?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Yeah. So what you want is to be able to be with the people that you love.
Right. And
And
we kind of can, but in a different way.
mm-hmm.
It's like there's that uncertainty where, as always, you feel safe with these people.
Yes.
But now there's like this added mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I went to the grocery store, did I accidentally touch my face and I didn't realize it? Now I'm gonna, So it's like, you can overanalyze everything, but at the same time, one mistake and it could be serious.
Yeah. So it's kind of like there was it's almost like you feel angry at this stupid, I have to follow all these rules, but then again, it's like, but it could really affect my life. I mean, it could be life threatening, but how the heck do I know? Like, I feel emotionally safe with these people, but then there's this whole weird physical thing that it's almost like it's a mystery. And I mean, how do I even know if it's true? And I don't know if he has the virus or he doesn't, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, he did get tested and he was negative, but
Uh-huh.
he got tested like 2 days after he got home. So, you know, that, I don't know if that was really the right thing to do. I mean, it was, but at the same time, it might not even manifest or show up for, you know, up to 14 days.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So I'm hearing, in addition to kind of disappointed and the scary, I'm hearing some frustration.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. With not, yeah, with, we have no control over this. We think we do, but we don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, am I going to look back on this and think, geez, I wasted all this time. I could have been with them. Or am I going to regret it if I'm with them? Or who the heck knows?
Right, right.
So in this kind of, with these emotions of disappointed or scared and or frustrated, which one feels like kind of rising to the top right now?
I would say the sense of loss
Yeah.
is huge for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say that, you can feel it. Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you add to, you know, try and find like some big dream goal when you're dealing with this?
Well, you don't have
Like,
to come up with it. Let's just put that aside. I give you full permission to not deal with dream goals right now.
okay, good. I don't want to.
Yeah, good. Great. That just feels like a big fat should. Like, I got to do my homework.
Yeah.
You don't have to do your homework.
Yeah.
So how's that feel?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's to focus on right here, right now,
Mm-hmm.
and being grounded and healthy and being with them however I can is going to have to suffice for now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you came in with a solution, which may very well be it, but the feelings are still there. So let's look at them a little bit. So maybe you can get a little bit out from under them, you know,
Okay.
because it's like it's like, well, I'm trying not to feel this because I don't want to feel badly. I mean, there's all kinds of good and I'm fine and I'm healthy, but nonetheless, let's honor it. Let's just, in this 10 minutes or whatever, we can just honor it. So you're having a sense of loss. And when you feel that, what happens?
I want to cry.
Yeah. Yeah. So just let yourself, because you're trying to hold them back, and that makes anxiety, and we don't want that.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to cry right here.
And why is that?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't need to have you watch me cry.
So you have some judgment about crying.
Maybe, yeah.
And Cathy, it's just what's real, and that's what's going to relieve this. So
Yeah.
I'm not convincing you to cry. I'm just saying it's probably a really great thing. Tears are healing, and sometimes the sense of loss, the only thing that will let you feel it is to have it with your tears. So just let yourself have it, sweetie pie. Yeah.
I'm glad my face is black, dark.
So tell me about the loss.
Well, I feel sad. I feel sad for all the disappointments. For my son, for one. He had all these big plans, and now everything's like he's stuck at home
Yeah.
with parents. So I feel bad for him for that. And then I also, for myself, I feel sad that I can't sit there and watch stupid TV with him, which is one of the things we like to do together.
Yeah, just that
you know?
closeness. You want that closeness, that sweet, like you want, it's like, this is what we do together. I want my son. I want our
Yeah.
relationship. And it's like, it doesn't get to express like how we do it. This is how we do it.
Yeah. I mean, we've been Zooming for 11 months or, you know, WhatsApping the face application. And so we've been seeing each other and talking and playing cards virtually and that kind of stuff.
But that's just not cutting the mustard.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Just
not the
want your
same as,
son.
yeah,
What's his first name?
Jake.
Jake. Just, I want to be with Jake. Just say that out loud.
I want to be with Jake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
I want to be with Jake.
Yeah. Yeah. And it hurts your heart that you don't get to be with him.
No, and that there's that anxiety about how are we going to live together now when I go back home.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's concerned about that too. He's talking with his doctor and he's going to find out, get some guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and so
I don't want him to move out because of that.
It's like, I just want him. I just want him.
Yeah.
So what you really want is to work something out where he gets to still live with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not for a long time. I mean, it's like eventually he's gonna move on and have his life and all that. So I want to be able to take advantage of this opportunity.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's a precious time. Yeah. And it feels almost like it's slipping through your fingers.
Yeah. Although I haven't really been thinking of it that way. I've just been thinking of it as right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because, and so here's the thing too, is that by doing the work we're doing right now and just having you kind of investigate this feeling, it's going to have you feel more empowered and more clear thinking, so that when it's time to solve the issue of moving back home, that won't be in the mix. So you'll be able to think more clearly about it. Right.
The sense of loss, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by processing this here and now, not like you can never do it again or that it won't come up, but just allowing for it. It's like, okay, that's that feeling. And then there's this thinking thing over here that I need to do to put this other plan together. So
yeah,
it doesn't have to be all meshed up together, you know?
Right.
Right. So how do you feel in this moment?
I feel like that we'll be together again. It's going to happen, and probably in about a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll wear our masks and we'll do what we need to do, but we'll be able to be in the same room together.
Yeah, you're going to work it out, is what I hear.
Yeah,
you're going to work it out.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, your job is to really be with yourself, Cathy. Your job is to feel what you feel, you know, in the privacy of your own space,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just honor that, because that's pushing it away doesn't help solve, or doesn't help you work it out. And so you're doing a great job by just showing up here and being present to what it is that you're feeling.
Uh-huh.
So what is the feeling now? How is that sense of loss?
It's I mean, I'm realizing that I wasn't wanting to look at it because there's nothing I could do about it.
Right.
So I was, you know, when you asked me to come today, I was thinking, well, I have nothing to talk about.
Just those dang feelings.
So it's like, well, yeah, I see what I was doing. I was just kind of like ignoring it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we usually do. And
Mm-hmm.
but we don't realize that just feeling what's there is going to be helpful. It's like there's nothing I can do about it. Well, yes, there is. You can feel it. You can welcome it in because it's a part of it takes part of our energy and our power to push it away.
Yeah, right.
Because we can't be present. We're constantly having to make something up to make that ourselves feel better, which doesn't work very well, you know.
Yeah.
So what do you feel is your takeaway from today? What will you do moving forward?
Well, I'm wondering if when I'm feeling like, you know, it's a chore, it feels forced to think about the future, that it's something in me that's saying, well, that's because there's something unresolved here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's something in the way, it's like if that doesn't sound fun to you, then yeah, there's something more immediate. It's
Yeah.
like there's a part of your psyche that's going, no, I'm not in the mood for that. We got to deal with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about goals right in this moment?
Well, I feel like I'll get to it. But,
Yeah,
but there is stuff I need to deal with right now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Right, great.
Yeah.
And so
And I trust that I trust that I'll know that you know, when things light me up, that I'll know.
you will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It will sound like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So meanwhile, it's just to be with your feelings in this really special time.
Yeah.
So what's one word for where you are now?
Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Great, sweetie. I'm going to
Thank
leave you
you.
with that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would just mute yourself and turn off your thank you. Oh, that was lovely. So for those of you who got to witness that, I mean, I'm sitting over here, I'm bouncing on a exercise ball because that's my new chair, and I'm bouncing and my head's nodding. It's like, thank you, Cathy, for being here in this moment. And thank you, Carrie, for keeping her here because there was something for her to deal with. And you know, we all do this. You know, we go through our lives, things distract us, we keep busy, and we don't always see what's right here for us to process and needs our attention.
Yeah, we don't realize that feelings are what might be in the way.
Exactly.
And like, oh, that's just a feeling. I'm just going to try and make myself feel better. When really what makes us feel better is to feel the feeling. And all we needed to do was open the space and ask, what are you feeling?
Right. Because once she could actually get from out under herself, like she couldn't even see it. And once she just got to be with that feeling of loss and let it come, it's like, oh, it flowed through. We didn't have to go to what do you need to do, because that just automatically came.
Right.
She knew the solution about being with her son. It was being able to be really present too when she is going to be with her son. This needed to be processed. This needed to be felt.
Yes. And so often we just judge our feelings and think they're not helpful, they're not useful, they're indulgent, they're ugly. You know, I could hear all of that, which is really common. So I'm used to hearing that. But
Right.
it's the exact and only thing that will make us feel better. I know I keep saying that, but it's just kind of miraculous how that works.
Right. And then and what we got to witness is that in a very short call, it was like we could see how she moved from, oh, I'm fine, right? I
Yeah.
mean, well, there was blank. She couldn't even see anything. She was
Mhm.
in blank, but she was coming in as I'm fine. And then she got to drop down into what was really here.
Mhm.
And because of that, we saw her shift. We saw her expand. We saw her get to um, her new place,
Well, and then
her smile on her face.
she could be more optimistic because she didn't have this kind of ball of feelings that she was dealing with, you know.
Or not dealing with, and that was here on this underneath the surface, so she couldn't see anything. She
Yeah,
was just blank.
yeah, she couldn't see her way clear.
Right.
Yeah,
And oftentimes we are like, I don't know what's here. I don't know, because we're using a lot of energy pushing down the emotion that's here. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to see it.
yeah.
It's getting in my way. Yeah, it's really right here in the way so that you can't move forward.
And it's the only way to bring ourselves present is to feel what we feel. And then we have
Exactly.
access to our more powerful self.
Right.
And that's what this
Which
work is all about.
all about, all about. Beautifully done. Thank you, Cathy, again for being such a wonderful in the moment client. So that's what we experienced today. And we have a couple of things coming up. One is our free Panic to Powerful workshop that's coming up on June 11th. And if you want to be a part of that, again, it's our free online workshop. Just go to our website, thecancerjourney.com, and you can register there. Also, we have free coaching that's coming up for June and July. We realize that the COVID combined with cancer, or COVID all by itself, is really stirring up a lot in us. And it's hard to see it. We need that mirror, just as Carrie was being. It's like sometimes we're just blank or numb, or we're not sure, or we're just ball of different emotions and thoughts and all of that. So we're here to offer you some free coaching in June and July. And if you want to take part in that, also let's start with sending us an email at info@thecancerjourney.com. We'll have the registration link up shortly. It'll begin on June 1st. So that link will be up, but if you want to let us know beforehand that you're interested, please email us at info@thecancerjourney.com.
And just put free coaching in the subject line.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carrie. So with that, we want to just leave you with this message. You are more powerful than you realize, and we'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye for now.